What's going on, guys? It's Dealer here, back again with RDX Podcast. E3 2019 just went down, and so did all of our hype levels. So basically, guys, Dealer here, back we are going to cover everything that just happened at E3 2019, for better or for worse. And there's a lot of fuck, man, it just pisses me off watching this thing. This is an E3 of extreme heights, right? Like the Project Scarlet stuff, right? It's like an episode of RDX. They told you everything you already knew, but then somebody's got some shit going in the background right now. It's distracting me. But then, they had some bad stuff as well. That no gameplay. It's really annoying. I want to introduce the panel, guys. Stick around. We're not trying to fucking hammer the shit into the ground. We're gonna keep it real as we always have. But at the end of the day, these are just our opinions. We do not speak for all. Randall Thor, thanks for joining us, brother.
Thanks for having me, Dealer. I would have flipped the gasket, a bigger gasket, that is, if I didn't know beforehand that Ori 2 was delayed. But yeah, I am not a fan of this conference. There are things I like, there are things I don't like, and for the most part, I was just incredibly bored. What is with the Gears? I'm gonna get angry. I came into this hangout. I'm like, what was that Gears 5? All right, calm down a little bit. All right.
Yeah.
Smooth, how you doing? How you doing, Smooth?
A stroke on the podcast, bro.
Oh.
You doing all right, Rand? You gonna recover in the background while we introduce some other people?
I'll be good.
All right, brother. Pull that shit together. Zalker, how you been, brother?
Doing all right, man. I saw the show. I wish there was, just like Rand said, a little more gameplay, but I will say that Gears escape little fucking thing they showed, that trailer, that thing looked fucking sick. A lot more emphasis in melee, it seems like, and abilities, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to see what that is. So yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, Kid Smooth, man, thanks for coming through and joining us on RDX Podcast, man.
Oh, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Am I supposed to do a proper introduction?
I mean, just tell them, your sexual preference and stuff, and that's it. And then
Social security number.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, thanks for joining us, man. I kind of tapped your shoulder here because Colt and Tim are both at E3, taking a giant L, and we just figured we'd have one of my favorite people, Kid Smooth, on. So thanks for joining us. Hey, D Batch, how are you doing, sir?
Oh man, I don't even know how I feel right now, to be honest with you guys, man. I know we're gonna get into the show, but in all honesty, I'm a little underwhelmed. I saw some things that I liked, and I saw some shit I didn't like, and yeah, I'm underwhelmed. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm. We've also got Fonzarelli, brother. How have you been?
What's going on, chat? It's a fucking great day. Seriously. I just want to say I am excited to be here and talk about these games and stuff that were shown on the stage there at Microsoft's E3. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it.
You can even hold that intro together. I don't want to hear nothing. We've got, like I said, extremely high highs, but extremely dumpster level lows. Let's get into it. So basically, they started out with the Outer Worlds, which I was very confused by and kind of gave me some vibes. You guys heard me in the party. Why are they starting with Outer Worlds? Well, they usually kick it off with a bang. They didn't do that this time. And hey, by the way, we got to give a shout out to already over 1,000 people watch this, guys. Hit that like button. Share this where you share things. We do appreciate it. You make this the most powerful podcast around. We do thank you so much. But Outer Worlds, Randall Thor, what did you think the second you saw Outer Worlds on stage at the very beginning?
I thought it was an incredibly weird game to start the conference with, considering it's being published by Private Division. I mean, I'm looking forward to playing it, and it is cool that it's coming to Game Pass on day one.
Which we already kind of knew, right?
Which we kind of knew. But as a conference starter, I didn't really think it was a good choice. I would have went with something else,
What, do you think they should have went with Flight Simulator?
No, they probably should have went with a 15-minute demo of gameplay Gears 5. That's probably what they should have started the show.
Well, how about a 15-minute demo of a bunch of indies?
Oh, that's what we got, right?
No.
Captain Redbeard in the super chat says, I'm a huge Xbox fan, and I believe it. And I was bummed out. Redbeard, you're not alone, man. Also, chat, let us know what you thought of this, right? Give it a rating. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs down. Let us know what you thought, because we're going to kind of feed off of your comments here. But You're right, Kid Smooth. Gears of War 5. What the fuck happened, kid? What do you think happened with this? This is the biggest game of this year, one of the biggest games of this year. It's one of the best looking games of all time. We know it's got all these brand new features, all this traversal, this open world. Here's some Horde Escape.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. I was like, this whole time I'm waiting for them with this stupid smile on my face, waiting for them to just get past the whole escape, and then, all right, let's show you some of Kate's journey. Right? That's all I was waiting for, and nothing. They gave us a roadmap of like things they're gonna show over the course of the next 3 months, and I don't want to wait until the launch of the game to see what I'm be getting into. It's like I wanted like a legit preview. I don't know I just don't know in what universe is it okay for your, like, if you go back to the year, right? This is they went completely against their usual stuff, right? Let's say 2014, right? We kind of got we got the Halo 5, like, oh, it's coming like, next year, but we're going to get the beta, and they show you a little glimpse of the multiplayer.
Get through. Where was the gameplay at?
No. But then again, in 26 and then 2015 Halo 5, right? They showed you campaign gameplay. Same with Gears 4, right? We got that little teaser at the end of E3 2015, right? Of like JD and what's name. And then the next year, we got a bigger, more expanded demo showing you how good the game launched. And that the crazy thing is Gears 5 is supposed to launch in 3 months. 3 months from tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And you not show
and they're talking about, hey, we're going to show off the gameplay on IGN's channel. No, this is like making me read the Halo 5 book to understand the Halo 5 fucking story. The Halo books to understand what you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to see it all right here on the biggest stage in the world. And instead, I got a pre-rendered trailer that is not indicative of even the Gears of War Classic cover system. They didn't even fight in the trailer like they do in the games. And like we talked about before, Gears 5 is the biggest Gears of War ever, with more traversal environments, customization. Why not show us a fucking 10-minute game?
And that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the different environments. I wanted to see everything, like all the new creatures, all that shit. That's all I wanted to see. And then it was kind of weird. Like they went into that bunker nest thing and then showed some WWE, whatever fucking superstars, like, and they're going to play Horde Escape. And then they fucking left. And they didn't show them playing the game. I was like,
wait a minute, Zach, are you telling me they left them in the basement and then they dipped? What's going on?
They just
let me ask you a question, though, Dealer. Do you just say that they said to check out IGN to see gameplay footage?
Something like that. Yeah, they're going to show them like the Gears of War YouTube channel or the Gears of War channel.
Oh, that's unacceptable, man. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to show like the gameplay later on. I don't know. And then I don't know if Larry Hurd put some shit like throughout the week, you're going to see way more on Gears and all this other stuff. And it's like, bro, we saw more gameplay in like Gears Tactics for 30 seconds last year than we did in all this entire conference, minus the Star Wars game. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I don't know.
Big Cloud in the super chat says, can't wait till I get on Tuesday, bro. Keep up the good work. This conference has me question a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. Microsoft are in an incredibly advantaged position going into next generation, the titles they're working on. I just felt like they held on to some of that shit. There was no Fable here. And there is a Fable game. That game is real. Believe me or not, it's real. But it wasn't here, Randall Thor.
Yeah, I mean, not surprised. It was always kind of a hope, in my prediction video, which, got some stuff right, got some stuff wrong. That's kind of what predictions are. I wanted them to end with Fable, and they literally, it was how I predicted it was they were going to have a hype video for next gen, and then they would show Fable, and they showed Halo instead.
Yeah.
I understand Fable's farther away. You're probably talking 2022 or 2023.
But show us something. Who cares? Just make a mock damn trailer.
Well, I mean, the Halo. I will say this: when they ended with the Halo, like that was like everybody in the party was very like they were very paying attention to what's happening because the
Halo trailer was amazing. As a lifelong Halo fan, I loved that trailer. Like everything it was going for.
Uh-huh.
But the problem with it is indicative of the entire conference. And where's the gameplay?
Yeah.
That kind of seems to me was the running theme throughout the whole show. It was just trailer after trailer. It seemed like a jumbo-sized episode of Inside Xbox on steroids. Exactly. Is what it seemed like to me. I don't know. I like when a developer grabs the controller and was like, all right, we're gonna play
We're gonna
8
do
minutes
Nintendo
of something,
jousting
so I
today,
can
yeah.
see what I'm gonna be doing. Like, I like trailers as much as the next person, but
Rand,
man, not having.
I said the same thing, Rand. As the conference was going, I kept telling these guys, this should be shown on Inside Xbox. This game should be shown on Inside Xbox. What are we doing here? Just game after game of like indies and stuff that just really doesn't do
Minecraft
well on the big E3 stage. This is where you put out your big guns, and they just came with little pellet guns here.
I figured like a lot of Sony guys would like this show. Like Lethal said in the party chat, he's like, this is like a Sony conference. What's going on?
No, here's the thing. Like, they showed a couple of JRPGs that are really huge. I mean, these games are big and are going to bring some gamers over to the platform, or at least buy into Xbox software.
That MMO you were talking about, right? What was that MMO called?
Phantasy Star Online 2, and also Tales of Arise. These are big JRPGs.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, they're over here now. So they're going to get some customers for that. That's great. That's fantastic. And those are okay to show on the stage. That's fine. It's those indie games. It's the flight simulators, stuff that really doesn't really translate well to a big show like this. You start off with Outer Worlds, which, by the way, I want to play. I'm excited for Outer Worlds. I gave it a pass when they started with that. I was like, okay, whatever. I want to play it anyway. And then they went into like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is freaking phenomenal. The trailer they showed was much better than the old trailer.
We're gonna come to all that, right?
Yeah. But the Gears thing, because I didn't talk on this. You're coming out in just a few months, and you're telling me that you couldn't show us some damn gameplay. And then, like you said, Dealer, you left those guys there. Oh, they're about to play this now. Well, show it. Show the gameplay. No, we're just going to show this trailer of guys just, the CGI dudes just running around and doing stuff. And some of the stuff looked cool. I agree, Zocker, but you got to show that in the gameplay.
I think, yeah, and I agree with you. And I think when he said this is the biggest Gears game we've ever made, like, this is the biggest story, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, well, fucking give us a glimpse of that. Yeah. Even do like a minute and a half of going through different environments, fighting different creatures, kind of like seeing little story beats. Like last year was so great. They had that in-game CGI, whatever, in-game story, and then they showed like 45 seconds to a minute of gameplay. Like, why not fucking do something like that?
They started with Kate, though, with her head, all the things come out of her head, and I was like, okay, fuck yes. Because before Gears, remember, there was like a fucking 20-minute block of, it wasn't great. Eli Chun, he says, yeah, they're going to show a lot more in 2020. That's exactly right. They are, and that's kind of why I'm so disappointed, because they're so heavily leveraged to show so much stuff, like with Gears of War that comes out in a few months, that they didn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
They held back.
Game comes out in a few months, people. Like,
what they did, what a lot of people thought. They held back. They held back because Sony
for
wasn't
what?
there.
E3
Sony wasn't
Gears
there.
in a few months. Like, what the fuck?
And all these dudes that are saying Sony won E3, it's ridiculous. Come on, Sony wasn't even there. Stop. But the thing is they should have shown.
That was still better than last year. So Sony show, in my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
No. If Sony would have showed up, that Microsoft couldn't have that conference.
They couldn't have. And I really think they held back just because Sony wasn't there. And that's something that we were told wasn't going to happen. They definitely held back here. It made no sense to me. I got 2 games.
What did they hold back?
I sat there and watched an hour and some, hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes of 2 games. For 2 freaking games. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Centurion says, what's up in the super chat? What's going on, brother? Go ahead, D-Batch. You said, what game? What are they holding back? What are they holding back, D-Batch?
First of all, I got to say, shout out to the over 1,700 watching live. You guys rock.
Yeah, hit that like button, guys.
And I don't know what the hell they're holding back. Like, this is the show, not to hold anything back, to show most of your cards. I understand them not showing the full specs, even though I'm disappointed, on the next generation console, but that I can understand. But you have no competition. Sony's not there. All eyes are on you. The whole gaming community was hyped for Microsoft's E3, and man, they shot a blank. To be honest with you, there was some hype, a few high points, but it was mediocre at best.
Like honestly, they held back. They had to have held back a lot. When you look at it, the only game that we know coming out after spring is Halo. That's all we know about next year is Halo at the holiday, and then there's Ori. No, I'm saying after spring. So we know Ori's in 2020, but like after spring, all we know is Halo. That's all. So they had to hold some shit back. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're holding their guns for next year because they know Sony's going to be there. I don't know. And it feels
after success, we need to grow up. So I mean, I don't understand. We could get on here and damage control and some bullshit. And even worse, we could damage control for 6 years and now act like we're not. We're the only ones not damage control, and that's even worse. But we're trying to be 100% here. What would you have preferred to see? What you saw from Gears there, or actual story gameplay that was actually had a set piece, or something classic?
Dude, like I would have been okay with. I'll be honest. I would have been okay with the Halo trailer because that Halo. I mean, I am okay with it, but I would have loved it even more if we got Gears gameplay. Like that's the biggest game that you have coming out this year by far, and it's cool. Like when you look at it in September, you're getting Gears Game Pass, you're getting Outer Worlds Game Pass in October. Like the Game Pass and all that stuff, the services, like that shit's down pat. Like I don't want to ever unsubscribe to Game Pass. Like you guys got me already. It's cool. Now show some fucking gameplay.
You got to think of this. If you really think about this whole show, the only gameplay they showed was of Bambi and Flight Simulator. Like they showed just Bambi.
Well, they showed, I don't know why. Why did they give that game? I don't understand why that was like. Who picked that?
That was a megaton.
It was a zoo, bitch.
Abzu, but with deers, and better yet, you can get some sodas out of the soda machine, Fonz. What is that? Fucking shimmy.
I mean, PlayStation showed squirrels, and we got deers. Fuck it.
I'll say this too. They didn't address the art direction. A lot of us Xbox guys, we want games that are a little bit more realistic looking, and like I saw a lot of cartoony looking games once again.
Is it safe to say that this is not the shit Xbox needs?
No, it's not.
Hey, didn't Brad say the XCloud was going to be like the darling of the show? There was no like XCloud, like
there was no info.
I don't think XCloud will ever be the darling of any show. That's going to be an option that a lot of people will try, and then they'll realize it's better on that.
And I'm confused on the XCloud. They said if you own a console that it's free, but what if you don't own a console? You got to pay for the service, like.
I'm basically saying you can use your console for free. So basically, like kind of what PlayStation is doing, you can remote play onto your like phone from your console. Like, let's say somebody's using your console, you can just remote play from it on your phone, tablet, PC, whatever.
What PlayStation was doing in 2013,
and this is starting in October, right, of this year.
Hey, Big Hap in the chat says they're showing Gears gameplay on IGN right now. Why not during the conference? I don't know if that's the case. I mean, but either way,
fuck IGN.
And here's the thing, Zocker, you said that during the show too. You said, you know what though, we'll see gameplay during this week. We'll see stuff, and I'm like, no, but you show it on the biggest stage of the year. That's where you show the gameplay. That's where you show your best. Your best.
Jesus Christ, they are showing gameplay on IGN.
Like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh,
Gears 5 exclusive gameplay. I mean, it's not of the campaign; it's of the Escape.
But
like
still, they showed something.
I don't care about Horde Escape. I want a fucking single player gameplay. Right?
Yeah,
like I get that
it's got numbers coming off, like hit markers, so you do 100 and here we go.
Okay. Looks like they touched the graphics too a little bit.
So, Fran, do you have any more info about that cloud gaming thing in October?
So that's what I was going to say, because I'm confused. So it's not like, so there's XCloud, right, which is the mobile streaming stuff, and then there's the console streaming. And one of them's free, right? Like the console streaming, like PlayStation does, which remote plays free. What about XCloud? Did they say anything about it? I'm entirely confused. Maybe I just blanked out because I was like just like at that point. So can someone like fill me in? Like what's up with the XCloud? The price, like, or did they not go into that?
If I had to assume, I'm gonna say there's gonna be some type of cost associated with XCloud if you don't have a console.
Somebody's got some kids in the background yelling.
Kid Smooth.
Kid Smooth.
Quiet your 8 kids, man.
Your 8 kids. I mean, that's a good point, Rand. Like, they didn't really give us much information on that. Bleeding Edge. Remember yesterday, over the last couple of days, right? All these idiots were saying, this is Ninja Theory's main game. They don't have multiple teams working on multiple projects. They just went up there and showed you Bleeding Edge, which did look better, in the full version of the trailer. Still not my thing at all. Not what I asked for or wanted.
We got more gameplay from that fucking little trailer in 5 seconds than we did in fucking Gears.
They also confirmed what I was saying on Twitter, what anybody who knows anything was saying on Twitter, what all these stupid idiots were not saying on Twitter, is that there are multiple teams at Ninja Theory, and that was led by one of the smaller ones, basically. And it doesn't matter if it's small or big, it doesn't matter. That's not the main project there. That's not the Hellblade team. Okay, so you guys were idiots, and we weren't. What's new? So when it comes to Bleeding Edge, chat, let us know what you thought about that. I thought that version of the trailer at least cleaned up and stuff. It looked a tiny bit better. I wonder if it's free to play or if it's $10-20 or what do you think? What do you think about that, Fonz? I mean, anyone? I don't know.
Bueller.
So it's not one of those games that I'm looking forward to be honest. It looks kind of like a melee Overwatch, but you know, some people out there may love this. It may be a game that I may think is fun in the end. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's trash, but you know,
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. I'll be honest. I'm going to play it. Like I enjoy multiplayer games. You guys know that. So I'm gonna play with my buddies. I think it's gonna be a little easier getting 4 players together, obviously, than 6 like Overwatch. Overwatch has become very toxic over the years, like extremely toxic, where you can't really fucking play the game. So I'm looking forward to this, and they said it's competitive. So, well, no, I'm just saying. I hope they said it's competitive, so I'm hoping there's like an actual like MMR system, ranking system, stuff like that to actually test your skill against people. So that's what I'm looking forward to in that game personally. And it looked kind of cool. I enjoyed like the small gameplay, like the environments actually. They matter. Like he threw somebody in front of a train or moving shit. Like that looks cool. The abilities looked pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to playing that. Honestly, I'm gonna enjoy that probably.
Well, in either case, all these idiots telling you that they just went and picked out a trash game out of the dumpster, and all Phil went and picked out a dumpster game, and all these fucking morons that don't know anything and they never have, and they've always been wrong. They were wrong again. They confirmed this game is in development far before Microsoft acquired them, and that they have multiple projects in the works.
Now, did you notice that when they went up there and Ninja Theory started talking, that's what they said right away was, "Hey, we've been working on this for years." You know, like they put an emphasis on that. And I was
like they made sure to like crush those people.
Like before Xbox was even around, we're making this game. Fuck faces.
Yeah,
we didn't go dumpster diving. Like you're never mind.
I'm down for Ninja Theory. They haven't made a bad game in my opinion. Like, yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed this isn't a single player game, but if it's like Devil May Cry Combat, like I mean I probably won't love it, but like I'll be interested in playing it. And I know like people are like, well, you guys are really down on 60 games. What more do you want in the count? There were 60 games. And
a lot of
look, I'm gonna say a couple nice things first. Okay, let me go with the little positives. I love Xbox Game Pass. I love that a lot of these games, 34 of them, are on Game Pass day one.
Facts.
I think it's one of the best values in gaming. Yes, a lot of those are going to be smaller titles.
Rand, whoa! You're just, they're shoveling this into your mouth with a golden shovel, and you're just
no. Because hold on. Because I actually do enjoy good indie games, and while I wouldn't like the barrage of them that were like Xbox, that conference for me was riding high. It's like after Keanu Reeves came out, I'm like, yo, this is hype, like 8
people in the crowd. Yeah,
and you're fantastic looking.
And then they showed Spiritfarer. Battletoads, which looks horrendous. Legend of Right, a montage of indie games, right? And
this Rand really
like Battletoads looks awful.
I think it looks like Battletoads, honestly, but kind of reimagined.
But I would say during that indie thing though. I told Fonz and Dealer this. Like I looked forward to Age of Empires. I liked that gameplay, like where it was remastered. They kind of put some stuff into the definitive edition. I thought that looked fucking awesome because I'm a strategy guy, and I liked Wastelands. I like what I saw from that. They showed gameplay of that, which makes me want to play the game. You guys, everybody knows I like that kind of game. So those games I thought were really awesome, and they're going to be on Game Pass for me to play. So that's what I enjoyed.
We all know you're a PC fraud. So
I got a super chat from Eheen. I'm trying to read that name properly. Sorry. What do you think of the rumors the PS5 is more powerful than the next Xbox? Well, something I did notice during the Project Scorpio or Project Scarlet reveal trailer thing, like, look, hey, this is gonna be badass. They
monsters.
I'm gonna analyze all the stuff they said in detail. You guys know you're gonna get it pretty accurate. I mean, fuck, if you've been watching this show, you already knew all that and already explained half this shit to you. But they did confirm hardware accelerated ray tracing, unlike some other stupid people. They actually know what they're doing, and they confirmed it right there. Didn't they, D-Batch? They confirmed that hardware accelerated ray tracing. D-Batch.
Oh, D-Batch is.
He's supposed to be the best of us. Anyway,
again, sorry.
One thing that he did say, well, Dealer, one thing that Phil did say was that this is the most powerful console we've ever built. He never said it's going to be the most powerful console.
They also said it's going to be the most immersive. They said it's going to be the most immersive console as well. And D-Batch, I was talking about hardware accelerated ray tracing. If you remember, there were some idiots who know nothing about tech telling you that it was going to be emulated ray tracing. Remember?
That's right. That's right.
Mm.
So we have a confirmation that's going to be hardware ray tracing, that they customize this chip. So you're not going to find this capabilities in another system. This is specifically catered to them. And they also said that I thought it was interesting, 4 times the power of Xbox One
And we
X.
had to nip that in the bud. That is not 24 teraflops of compute on the GPU. I think they're talking all around.
Yeah, they're talking all around. They're talking about the bandwidth, everything. Like they're talking all around. But nonetheless, they talked about 120 frames per second. I also want to walk that back for people thinking that it's going to be 4K 120 frames per second. It'll be 1440p 120 frames per second if they're telling this 120 frames per second stuff. Nonetheless,
I think on certain games they'll be able to do 4K 120, and I'll stand by that because of the logic that I think it's going to be about twice as quick as the X on the GPU.
Yeah.
And if you do the math on certain games today, you can double that frame rate on something like Forza Motorsport 8, perhaps. But that would be, who knows? But I'm just saying, I think
that's demanding games. Yeah.
We also got to give a shout out to over 2,000 people watching us live, guys. Thank you so much. If you haven't already hit that bell button for the notifications, I'm going to do that for the first time ever. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this where you share things. But yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to dip back here because we got so much stuff to cover. The Hellblade stuff, they came out and crushed all these trolls. Rand, Ori 2 delayed to February 2020.
Yeah, when did I DM you that and just said it was delayed?
That was like yesterday at some point.
Oh my most anticipated game gone, up in smoke. Oh my god!
I'm with you.
It's not a good day. It wasn't all right. It wasn't a good show, and it's teetering on a bad show. It's kind of like right there in the middle.
Okay.
There's things I like. There's things I didn't like. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. Like normally I would just kind of sit there and let my feelings stew for a bit, but like we need to go on right away. And I'm like, all right, so I got
Rand reactions.
Man,
they
could have done so much better. They could have done so much better, and I'm just disappointed because of that.
Yes,
it's like
perfect.
Just reach out for it. Grab that brass ring. I know you can do it. And it's just like, you just...
Actually, some guy already in the super chat that's Face 23.
Oh.
I notice this from you a lot, buddy. You don't pay attention. You end up saying dumb things. They literally confirmed Navi right there on the stage. Said it, Navi. So go back and watch that. You might have been checking your phone or eating your toenails. Also, they did confirm that shit 100%. I thought that was exclusive to PS5, huh? Thought all you dudes were saying that was exclusive to PS5, huh?
He bunked it, and Dealer and I have been saying for the longest time that both systems are going to have.
We told you 8 months ago, ray tracing, Navi, all this shit. So yeah. Anyway,
what I did find interesting though is that Microsoft did say hardware accelerated ray tracing, and Sony didn't. So that's kind of telling. And also too, Microsoft is also going to be using the solid state drive solution to load their games in quicker. And I think that comes off from Zen 2 and their PCI 4.0 that they have on that architecture, right?
Now, if you remember, we did talk about a caching solution that would eliminate maybe the need for multiple SSDs, or they mentioned something to do with caching in that trailer. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. Yeah. But I think they've implemented some kind of custom RAM / SSD.
Yeah, they were caching the RAM with an SSD.
Or something. I don't know what they've done. I have to go back and watch it. But
yeah, that's what I was asking you. And D, maybe you heard it. Is it some sort of hybrid SSD drive?
Yeah, so it is a hybrid. Looks like it's a hybrid, and they're also using it to cache RAM. And if you go back to AMD at Computex, they did say that AMD is now in the solid state drive business. So they're making their own solid state drive. So of course, these two companies getting together, they made something unique.
We're going to have a lot of people trying to take that and run with a solid state, like it's a slow hard drive like they're going full on SSD type stuff here and trying to give you, I guess as much capacity as possible. But we know the load times are going to be like the PS5s basically.
Yeah,
which we've already seen demos of. Very impressive. If you've ever gamed on an SSD, you know that. But Rand, Ori 2, that was kind of a letdown. Did get pushed back. It's been how many years since that game came out? 3, 4?
I mean, Ori 1 came out in 2015. They debuted this game 2017. Last year, they finally gave a release date 2019. And I had seen some material that suggested it was coming out in August alongside Gears in September months ago. I remember telling a lot of people about this months ago. And I was confident Ori was August. And then obviously... things change now.
You can't be that mad because they showed fucking gameplay.
I mean, no, yeah, perfection takes a while, right? That game, what they showed, absolutely amazing. Like, I have no doubt that is going to be one of the best games released next year.
Yeah.
And a lot of you Sony fans will probably chide me for this. It's going to stand toe-to-toe with The Last of Us Part 2. I have no doubt in my mind.
Damn.
For me, at least. For me. Of course, I got to say for me. For me, personally.
Okay.
Personally, for me.
I
Personally, for Randall 419, Last of Us Part 2 and Ori 2 are going to be on the same level.
that's for you. That's good you said that, because I don't co-sign that. I don't co-sign that at all.
Fonz, you just made a video about Killer Phil kicking the competition.
Here's the thing. First of all, I knew it was bad when he didn't come out in the hot action pants. All right?
Yeah, he should have.
I knew it was going to be all downhill from there. And then it was. They showed Bambi and stuff, and it was just, going worse and worse. Anyway, but Ori 2, I am sad about that, though, because I was looking forward to that game as well. It sucks that it's not coming this year, but
Yeah.
you know what? It'll be here early next year. It's not bad.
You know what?
one thing I
point out that there's going to be a lot of people that are angry because we're just being honest, and I don't want anybody to follow this channel if you don't want an honest opinion from anyone on this channel, right? But I think Microsoft benefits most from, and some people don't even know because they don't fucking watch, and they just assume that we haven't been complaining about the software and wanting better there. They're clueless, right? But at the end of the day, fans that actually speak out and they're like, hey, you can do better. I know you can. You've done better. I think there's some of the most valuable things that the company can have, right? So it's the reason we got the X, and it's the reason they've got these studios. They know what they need to do, and it's not like we're just trying to hammer the shit. It's the last thing we want to fucking do.
I think what you guys have to understand is that us as gamers and fans of games, we want to see gameplay, especially these big games that they've been touting for so long. If they would have just shown gameplay for these few games that they were going to show that are really big on the stage, that would have helped this conference out immensely. It would have it would have brought it up to from a 3 out of 10 in my opinion.
3 out of 10, that's a little low.
Yeah. No. I think it was that bad. I mean,
the Stadia conference was a 3 out of 10, bro.
I think it was bad. Anyway, I would have brought it up to like a 7 out of 10 had they shown gameplay for these big games. They didn't, and they failed at that. Okay, it was a failure. If they fail, they get a failing grade, in my opinion.
I mean, I would say this. I think it is kind of cool that we are getting shit to play this year, and a lot of shit to play this year, like Gears. Then this week we're getting freaking the Forza Horizon DLC, the Lego one, which looked kind of freaking random and cool. I actually enjoyed that, and they showed actual gameplay of it, and I thought like the HDR and all that looked fucking awesome. Yeah. That looked really good. So I see we have a bunch of shit to play, but again, it was like one big long commercial of just trailers. Yeah. And they should have showed some gameplay, like even the Star Wars, like last or yesterday's gameplay of Star Wars, I thought looked okay. I wasn't like jumping for the roof or anything, but once I saw the gameplay on the conference, I was like, wow, this looks fucking awesome. And that's what they needed to do.
Captain Redbeard said, "Keep it real, dealer. Do not stop." I'm assuming you meant do not stop being honest, y'all.
Dude.
Yeah, we're definitely.
I had someone just private message me about the SSD thing. Listen, the solid state drive that are going to be in these devices, they're using PCI 4.0, and that's 50% faster than the drives that we have now. So it's going to make a big difference. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
We already got somebody in chat saying Halo and Gears was shown. Yeah, it was shown all right in a trailer form. We did not have gameplay.
Yeah, they were shown, but not as a lot of fans. And just read the chat. We're not alone here. Most fans agree with us.
I just want to
shown in quite right the right light.
I just want to say that, man, I hate being like this negative towards stuff I love. I love Xbox. I love video games. I really enjoy Sony stuff. I would much rather be positive about the things I've seen, but it's killing me right now to like be this kind of negative towards that, because I just didn't like the show. I honestly, hand to God, did not like the show.
I was hyped, bro. The last two were great in my opinion.
I was so hyped.
What did I came into this chat with you, D. There was just me and you. What was the first thing I said? You were in the middle
of having an aneurysm.
I was like, what the fuck was that? Yeah, I don't like being negative. It doesn't suit me, right? I like being more positive. So I'll look for the positive aspects of the show. I love Game Pass, I love the indie games, but there's just too much. So I don't know what else to say.
If you had to put a number on it, what would you give it out of 10?
5 or 6, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the problem, right? The show was golden up to a particular point. then there was a block of 10, 15 minutes with little tiny indie games, which is fine. I get that Phil's trying to send a message, come work with Xbox. We happen to give a fuck, right? I get that. But it's not the right place. It does not drive. E3 is a show for the hardcore. Yeah. And most of the hardcore are into what we want to be blown away by some big blockbusters, the stuff that Xbox really needs right now. They haven't had big blockbusters since Gears 4. We've talked about that over and over on the show. Gears 5 is that next big game, and we saw zero gameplay. Yep. We saw, think of it, in a world where you see more WWE superstars at a Gears 5 gameplay reveal than actual gameplay.
Yeah, and folks, you have to understand that the reason why I give it a failing grade as well is because the fact that I have put emphasis on the fact that they need to show a new IP that is huge, a new AAA IP. They did not show that here.
You gave it more than.
What's the deal on Crossfire? Is this a timed Xbox exclusive?
What is Crossfire? I never even heard of it.
No, I never even heard of it either. But Fonz, you gave it more than a failing grade, buddy. You gave it like a 3 out of 10 is like they put their name on the paper during the test and then left.
You have to understand the criteria that I had for it was they have to show a AAA new IP. That is a guarantee. They have to, or they fail automatically. And then you're gonna add on to it a bunch of indie games, and then not show gameplay for a game that's coming out in 3 months. Fail.
I hear you, Fonz, but just the fact that they somewhat unveiled the next generation Scarlet device.
That doesn't mean anything.
That automatically gives them a 5.
That does not mean anything.
It depends on how tech-minded you are.
Most gamers are not tech-minded, and they're not thinking about.
I get that. I'm just saying a 3 is fucking. A Cyberpunk by itself was massive. I mean, a 3 is kind of.
The Keanu. That was a huge surprise. That was a shock.
I'm not telling you guys you're wrong for giving it a 5 or 6, even a 9. If you're saying it's a 9, that's great. If that's what you wanted in games, right? Because there's guys in the chat that are giving it 9s. That's
not even Kid Smooth would give it a 9.
I don't have a problem.
Last year's show, if that was a 9, what was last year's a 12?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with you guys giving it such high scores because it's opinions, but you have to respect my own opinion too. Again, I've explained my criteria. They didn't show anything, a new IP, and they didn't show gameplay for games that are right around the corner. And then you're going to show us a bunch of indie games there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. And the Game Pass section was way too long. And the fact that you're mentioning PC too much on an Xbox E3 briefing, I like the option to play there, but there is a PC show. Right. So, but anyways, let's kind of continue our discussion. Chat, let us know what you would give the briefing as we continue. And like we said, we're going to dive fully into the hardware. We want to give a shout out to all of you that have joined us.
What
will surely be our most negative show of the year. We usually try to be pretty realistic and not just make shit up like trying to buy dumpster games and stuff. But Minecraft Dungeons, I saw Minecraft and I instantly started to I was looking for my cat, looking for something to punch, right? and they transitioned to the overhead dungeon style, and I was like, okay, at least it's a kind of an RPG thing. It's not a complete fail.
Yeah, it's like Diablo.
Yeah, it looks nice. Like Diablo. Minecraft Dungeons. Anybody kind of find that? Zalker, you find that appealing?
Yeah, I don't even play Minecraft, to be honest. I don't like Minecraft. I've played it before. I just don't like the game, but I thought that was really cool. Like, I enjoy playing games with my friends, and that's like a co-op game experience. And I was like, man, this is kind of like old school RPG shit that I used to play when I was a kid. And I really enjoyed that, like different environments, people walking around. Like, obviously, you look like a block, but, I thought it was kind of cool. I honestly did. I didn't expect that. I was like, wow, that's pretty expansive. Like, they can really go pretty far with that and expand that into something.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Pumpkin says Fonz is absolutely correct. So you're gonna have people that had the same way of judging these things. So it's fine.
The thing is like all of you out there who said that they need to show a brand new AAA IP, you guys said it too. They would fail if they didn't, and then now people are saying, "Oh no, it was a 7."
So a 6 is a fail, Fonz. It's not. It doesn't have to be a 3 to be a fail.
No, but the problem is people are going back on their word.
What had happened was
people are going back plugged in. No, people are just damage controlling out there.
I mean, there's plenty of people that are going to get this thing a 9 and stuff. Yeah.
There's no damage controlling this. There's just
but there is, because people are doing it. These same people had said they need a AAA new IP. They didn't bring that.
No, man. If somebody wants to give the game the show a 9, I'm not going to argue with them.
No. That's
your
fine.
opinion's
I
your
don't mind
opinion.
opinions like that, right? But your opinion before the show changed after the show.
Well, okay. If you're saying Xbox needs to do this and they didn't do it, and you give it a 9, yeah. If that's what you said before.
Who said that they needed a brand new AAA IP? It was a fail.
A lot of us did.
Yeah, I needed to see personally. I needed to see
something big. I needed to see more blockbusters.
Okay, you want me to say names? D-Batch said that.
You're a fraud.
And in all honesty, I know all the Xbox guys. They all wanted to see a new AAA game, and
we all do.
Unfortunately, we didn't see. I just wanted to see something that was like graphically intense, really story driven, something that we haven't seen from the Xbox in a long time, and we pretty much got the same old, and it breaks my heart to say it. It's like your favorite sports team going to the finals and getting swept, and then the GM comes out and says, "Don't worry, we're gonna build it next year. We're gonna build a better team." That's how I feel. I feel let down from what I've seen. I know good shit is coming down the pipe, but I feel let down that they didn't show me any of that shit.
Yeah. I mean, just for clarification, none of us here were like, "Oh my god, this show is good." I would give it like a 6, and that's just because, and that's still below a 70. That's how I grade things, right?
You failed it too, and I respect that.
But I'm not at a fucking 3. Like the shit was. No, I mean there was some.
Bitch,
good
D's get degrees. It's 6 degrees.
Degrees, bitch.
Again, I'm not going to explain why it takes too long, but I'm not going to explain why I get.
I get it. It's your opinion. That's perfectly fine.
The thing is here is we have to understand that a lot of these games they've shown don't appeal to a mass audience, and that is a big problem on the E3 stage.
I think not only that, I think a lot of the games that they show don't appeal to the core Xbox audience, to be honest with you.
No, it doesn't at all.
Just they have to gauge where we're at and what we want, and we've been pretty vocal on what we want.
By the core, what do you mean by the core? Like who? Like what did you need to see as a core Xbox audience?
The core Xbox guys, let's just be honest, they all want some banging
it's like a mature audience,
single player mature games. That's what we want. We don't want.
Well, I'll be honest with you. As a core Xbox guy, I like single player games, but for me, the core to Xbox is co-op. Like playing games with your friends. If you got a mature single player co-op game, where you're playing with your buddies, that's what I want. Like that's what I want.
We have that now. We have the best co-op. We have the best multiplayer now.
Exactly, and that's what's core to me.
But I don't know. Personally, I want more. I
actually didn't mind seeing.
You want what we don't have. Kids Move Ticket.
No, I actually didn't mind seeing the Minecraft dungeon game. So like it looks legit. I mean, that was like kind of one of those little cell phone looking games that I didn't mind seeing. But yeah, as far as like, I feel like Microsoft should have showed like a little bit more. Like sure, like those who are expecting like the initiative to show something off, like me, like or Perfect Dark reboot and all that stuff. Yeah, maybe like we're reaching for the moon, and this is just not going to happen. But I don't know, man. It was just a bunch of empty holes, man. I feel like it's not enough.
Do you feel like they could have gone after even more third parties and paid them?
Yeah. I would have just said, all right, show Call of Duty then. Fuck it.
Yeah, show Call of Duty. Show me some dogs chasing some fish through some water. I don't give a fuck.
Some Watch Dogs or something. I don't know, man. They could have. I feel like they could have done more. I feel like because that's what I expected from the show. I expected like just a bunch of like AAA third party like content, and we didn't even get that.
Yeah, it was there was 20 minutes of indies, man. That's never acceptable. It reminds me of earlier Sony E3s or a lot of Sony E3s. And I mean, I got to keep that same energy, right?
I have to say though, like when you look at the fall, when you look at like the end of the year, I don't know, it just doesn't, to me, it doesn't even like compare minus Gears. Gears 5 is the biggest game coming out this year to me. It is kind of empty. And that's what I'm saying. Like I'm looking at it and it's like, yeah, get third party, get this, but then before like a week ago, we were like, Batman game is gonna fucking be there. The new Rocksteady game is gonna be there, and then nothing. Like all those games and studios were like, "Nah, we're not fucking coming. Sorry, we're not coming."
Maybe someone in the chat knows, but Warner Brothers has teased this new Batman game. Patrick Redding, creative director, Warner Brothers Montreal. They put up the picture of the shirt. We've seen LinkedIn posts of Batman 2019, and Warner Brothers pulled out of Comic-Con. They didn't show up at Microsoft stage. That wasn't there. Apparently, the Battlefield remaster I was talking about. Is that not a thing this year? I don't fucking know. Did it get delayed? I have no clue. Like, is it real? Like, I don't know.
I feel like we were spoiled last fall.
There's some big holes here, right? And it's really weird. Like Warner Brothers pulling out at Comic-Con alone, not to mention not really showing their Batman game or anything. Rocksteady already confirmed they're not doing anything. So
Dealer.
that's super weird, man.
But you can play as a fucking Terminator in Gears, bro.
Bro, fuck the Terminator. I'm playing
T-1000. But honestly, Double Fine studio pickup, as well as Shannon Loftus heading up the new Age of Empires studio. So they added 2 new studios. What do you think?
Is she back on Twitter?
So they did confirm that brand new studio?
Yes, they confirmed it on the Xbox Newswire right after the show was over.
Oh, they got a brand new internal studio
Internally
aside from
built,
the
led by Shannon Loftus to make Age of Empires stuff, and then of course Double Fine.
That's odd that they put Shannon in charge of that, but I mean, either way, like they got 2 new studios this E3. They got a new internal RTS Age of Empires studio, and they've got Double Fine studios. Tim Schafer, what do you think about that, Fonz?
My daughter really loved
Psychonauts.
Psychonauts back in the day, and Psychonauts, it was critically acclaimed. It was a big, draw back in the day, I guess, for a lot of gamers. But I guess it's just one of those things where they're just, it's just one of those indie pickups that they're gonna put into Game Pass. They're gonna do some of this.
Yeah, Shady has a point. Double Fine they have a legacy. Their problem has been funding. And I think that's why Schaefer signed with Microsoft, and they're going to be working on some new titles. Hopefully they push their scope a little further out, because Psychonauts looked today just like Psychonauts 1 did back in 2000.
What was up with that, man?
It just looked cleaned up. It looked like the same graphics. You're right.
But is anybody on the panel looking forward to that game, honestly?
No, but I know my daughter. My daughter will play it. Yeah.
Well, in either case, Double Fine, they're definitely working with Microsoft. Blair Witch looked interesting. Not really sure. I mean, it's coming to get Xbox Game Pass day 1. Cyberpunk 2077. That looked really. I didn't like the voice actor of the guy with the metal arm. Right? What's his name? I don't know. Whatever. I didn't like one or two of the voice actors in the trailer, but the game looked absolutely phenomenal in its form. I guess it's real-time gameplay, but who knows what it's running on. And what did you think about that gameplay demo? Fonz, you're pretty hyped for that.
Best of show.
Best of show.
And I think that at the end, even when Keanu came out and started talking about it, gave the release date, I think that whole little presentation there, the whole thing that was set up there was really great for for E3. I thought that, this is what Xbox needs to do, get people hyped for games, right? Unfortunately, this is a multi-plat game, so it's going to be everywhere. Yeah. But it's Cyberpunk. It looked great.
Like when he looked up at the bulge and he looked up higher and it's Keanu Reeves, and we're like, holy shit.
No, I got to say that Cyberpunk looked a lot better than we saw it in its last trailer, for sure.
Definitely.
So
we were kind of told that ahead of time that it would look different.
Yeah, it was really good. And
it got another year to work on it. It got a release date too, or some shit, right?
And here's the thing: there's new gameplay being shown behind the scenes to select people. So, but
it wasn't on stage, Fonz. You got to keep that same energy, motherfucker.
Oh no, of course. But here's the thing: this game's not out in 3 months, and it's not an Xbox game. Okay, that's a good point. That is a good point.
It is coming out 4/16/2020, and I feel like this is probably going to get delayed again because that's a project. But that seems a little ambitious in my opinion. But who the fuck knows? And I want to make sure that everyone's absolutely clear. Up to this point, Microsoft's conference was pretty damn solid. Like, it wasn't perfect. They opened it with the wrong game, in my opinion. And there was maybe a dud in there somewhere, maybe a dud or two, but before that. But up to this point, we were like, all right, this conference is pretty solid so far. And then boom, 20 minutes of indies and Game Pass section that has become more and more reoccurring. And it's standing out more and more. 20 minutes on this stuff. That's far too much, Randall. I'm confused. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a lot of time, but as I think we've said before, Game Pass is their future. Like, they need to nail this home. They needed to announce Game Pass on PC and Game Pass and the additions. I think they added 25 games today. Yeah. They added Borderlands Handsome Collection, Metro Exodus, which is 3 months after just released.
Not bad.
Hollow Knight, Batman Arkham Knight, Ultimate, which gives you both Game Pass for PC and console and gold for $15, which you can get for $1 right now.
Awesome.
And I stacked up to 36 months for $1. Like, it does kind of feel like the show is a big ad for Game Pass, but that is their essential business model.
It was
One of
just
their
too long, man. You
big
focus
pillars
too much
of
on
it.
PC stuff as well. Like it's an Xbox conference. I fully believe that. You guys know I believe in the option to play where you want, but it's Xbox's E3. I get why they did it, but I just didn't like it. Spriggan says it well. He says, "Look, we all know, we all wanted new AAA IPs, but when they're not ready, you know, don't show them." The lack of gameplay was kind of the true error here. So yeah, the gameplay section, Arkham Knight, which still to my knowledge is not Xbox One X enhanced and being sold in a collection that says Xbox One X enhanced on it. I've tweeted about that. That needs to be changed and need to enhance it or take it out of there or something. Xbox on PC, Master Chief Collection. You got Baseball Simulator 500 or some shit on there as well. Metro Exodus. So did Metro Exodus, did that transfer? Is that a PC version of Game Pass?
Yes,
And Xbox?
because afterwards they did a trailer and they were saying that Metro Exodus is in Game Pass for PC. So yeah,
and Xbox.
Yeah, and Game Pass on console.
Yeah,
Nice.
Okay.
I was impressed by the Game Pass Ultimate. To be honest with you, I think it's a good deal. I think it is the future of gaming. I think a lot of companies are going to use this type of model. So I was excited to see these games come to the PC. I think it's huge that the Halo Master Chief Collection is on PC. I can't understate how big that is. The PC guys have been waiting for that for so long. So that's good for them.
You know, it's hilarious to me. Earlier when you guys were discussing Game Pass, somebody jumped in here and I saw him write it. He was like, you guys are really selling Game Pass. You know, Game Pass is a very pro-consumer thing, people.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It really is. I mean, I don't understand that. That's like, I'm sure you guys have a Netflix account. I mean, you're watching shows and movies on that. I mean,
you're buying this Game Pass with a golden shovel. Jesus Christ.
Are you telling me that if I know these are Sony guys saying this, so you're telling me that if the PlayStation had a similar service that offered you all of these games day one, that you guys wouldn't subscribe to that service?
Okay, here's the thing. It's when they get that service, because it's happening. It'll end up happening.
Well, they got the service, it's just not day and date.
Did they announce the release date for Bleeding Edge?
The alpha is June 27th.
So. That's all they said. Yeah,
that's all they said.
That trailer was totally indicative of what we'd see there. Microsoft Flight Simulator, D-Batch. I'm sure you're ready to benchmark the fuck out of that.
Out of their what?
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh my god! First, to be honest with you, it looked neat. It looked neat.
I mean, the graphics were fucking insane, but
they were.
Yeah, because at first when I say, is this a real game? What the hell's going on here? The water, the buildings, everything looked amazing. It's a game that I will try out, to be honest with you. And I know a lot of people do like the Flight Simulator series on PC, so kudos to them. But still, it's not the big AAA title that I wanted.
No, it's definitely not. So Microsoft Flight Simulator, I was very surprised to see that logo. I feel like that's going to become a meme for this E3. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. That game's 30 years old. Gets fuck off stage. Wasteland 3. That is one of their new studios. I get it. That trailer didn't really do the Wasteland series justice, in my opinion.
But it's another RTS. Like, come on.
It's a term.
I understand they're overdoing trying to fill that void of RTSs. Like, I mean, I know, Zucker, you like those shits, but man, like that's not what I want to see, dude. Like, I really don't want to see another RTS.
It doesn't translate well to consoles, console gamers anyway, I should say. We're just not into RTSs like that. And
Darth Chaos says basically they're holding stuff back for 2020 when Sony returns. That could be a good point. We know they're holding stuff back, and we'll never deny they don't have things to show. We know certain games exist, and we know they're in the work. We know they met with Piranha Games 5 times. We know that they're working on some stuff with them, and we know the Fable thing's real, and we know they have a ton of stuff planned for 2020. But at the end of the day, I mean, it doesn't change what happened today. Yeah. We know they can do better. So
I mean, we're not hating. We're just being real. I mean, this is just our feelings on the situation. Yeah. So we expected some things and they just didn't come to fruition, you know, especially the gameplay aspect. It's mind-numbingly just crazy to me. Like Gears 5, I can't get over that. Like, it's out soon and you don't show gameplay.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, but the show is really finally picked back up. Finally, when they showed Lego Star Wars. I was like, holy shit, they have finally dropped the Megaton.
Oh my god.
Darth Vader snowman.
Oh my god.
That was funny. But yeah, Dragon Ball Z Project Z, 12 minutes. 12 minutes look interesting. I'll say that.
Yeah.
We've also Way to the Woods, which is the goddamn Bambi game. The one where he plays the deer. I was like, is this really happening right now?
Oh,
I just want people listening, and we do have people from Xbox that listen to the show. We say it in the nicest possible way. Not all games are created equal.
no, they're
They
not.
just aren't.
Yeah.
And it takes an extremely phenomenal amount of talent to make any of these titles. We fully recognize that. But this is the biggest stage in the world.
I mean, this deer's running up to that vending machine, headbutting it, getting some Xbox soap out of it. I'm just like, what is going on? What is going on with this game?
Those games should have been reserved exclusively for Inside Xbox. All those indie titles should have been for Inside Xbox, not on the main stage. I understand the Minecraft because it's one of the biggest games ever. Okay, fine. The Minecraft you put on the main stage, but all these little indie titles, put them on Inside Xbox and give us some meat. Like this whole.
D, you and I thought exactly like I kept saying that this game should be on Inside Xbox. This game should be on Inside Xbox. This makes no sense on the biggest show of the year. This is the Super Bowl of gaming, and you're gonna give me trash.
Honestly, take those things out of the show and cut the show down to fucking 60 minutes if you got to.
Not even take those things out of the show and just put fucking gameplay of Gears. There you go.
There you go. So Lego Star Wars Dragon Ball 12 minutes, the fucking Bambi game. Gears of War confirmed release date finally, September 10th. They did confirm that if you have a Game Pass Ultimate, they're tying that to Ultimate, which we had already talked about this. They're finding ways to maybe give their Game Pass customers early release for games. So if you're a member of Game Pass Ultimate, or if you have the Ultimate Edition of Gears of War 5, you will get that game early. How much earlier was that, Rand?
5 days.
4 days, so on September 6th.
Oh.
4 days. 4 days. Xbox Elite Controller 2. Who knows the most about that? Well, I have to run away from the mic for a minute.
Well, they did show a few new toggles. You got 3 settings, 3 custom profile settings. That was pretty cool. They added an internal battery, and I don't know how I feel about that, man, because those internal batteries, they only have so many charge cycles, and then, that's it. They're dead. You got to get a new controller. So I'm a little jaded on that, to be honest with you guys. But they did say that it does work for 40 hours worth of gameplay on one charge. So that is positive.
The grips look better. It's $180. I thought, I don't know. A lot of people have been waiting for this. It's USB-C support and Bluetooth. Obviously, you said it goes up to 40 hours per charge. I mean, I thought it looked pretty good. I want to see it.
I think the running theme here is that also should have been shown on Inside Xbox, not E3. Another controller, I don't need to see that on E3 stage. I don't care if it's an Elite. It should be shown on something like Inside Xbox. Agree with me or not, but that's how I feel. I didn't care to see that there.
Well, maybe they could have shown us some more Bambi's headbutting vending machines and getting some soap. So Elite Controller 2, that's a big deal to people that are into that kind of stuff as well. That's like saying I didn't care to see the Scarlet hardware there. Like some people are just into hardware, right?
Yeah.
So
but see, that's they're talking when they talk about Scarlet and stuff, they at least are getting you hyped up for next gen consoles, which all gamers get hyped up for. Not every gamer gets hyped up for a controller. I'm sorry.
Not all gamers do get hyped up for that, honestly.
I beg
a big chunk of them do. I think it's a next gen console, it's a next gen controller, and we'll see. They didn't spend a lot of time on it. Give them that. They didn't spend very much time on it at all. It was a little quick reel. What was that game? Dying Light 2. That didn't really get much of an applause from the crowd. Kids Move. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, I actually forgot that it was shown. I think at that point because wasn't Dying Light 2 shown after Gears?
Yes.
Yeah, I think at that point I was pissed off.
After the Elite controller.
Yeah, the Elite controller was going to be 180, 190. But the Dying Light,
is it that expensive?
Yes, I know it's going to be more than the original one.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's 180. The controller.
Yeah. Dying Light.
I think you had a lot of people that were already falling asleep in that crowd by that time because they had showed that 20 minutes of indies and everything.
Yeah, Fonz. We passed that part.
I think that's what happened.
Anybody got anything soon? Dying Light 2. I mean, I thought it looked good, but we don't just know hype behind it.
It looked a little bit of the same old. To be honest with you, man.
It looked a lot more vibrant though. The world did. There was a lot more zombies from what I remember, and the way he was running, like in the buildings and stuff, was kind of cool. The parkour looked cool. Dodging, I thought it looked actually kind of cool. I thought the kicking people off buildings looks fun. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it looked really good. Well, did they have a release date on that fucking game?
They did
Spring 2020.
Spring 2020, yes. Forza Horizon for Lego Speed Champions. I gotta say, as dumb as that sounds, Lego Speed Champions, when I started seeing them bust through Lego buildings and stuff, I'm like, all right, I could get this as an expansion. It's definitely the second most interesting one they made.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. The what was the one? The Hot Wheels that they released a couple years ago. I enjoyed the hell out of that, and this looks just as fun, to be honest with you guys. I don't know, man. Once again, though, it was DLC that they showed. I am excited for it. It's coming out next week, but I wanted those AAA bangers, man.
They showed us with the State of Decay 2 story expansion. That's out now, right?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I'm a State of Decay fan. I like the first one. I gave the second one like a 7.5, I think, because I like the first one. It does everything better than the first one. And I didn't want State of Decay up there. Like, I get, I might play Gears Pop. Like, I get that, but does it deserve to be on the stage, or should it be on the stage?
I mean, really. The most disappointing thing is that Sea of Thieves wasn't on there, right? Everyone.
Oh God!
Oh my God! We're taking 3 out of 10 from fun to a 1 out of 10 of 15.
half a star.
Yeah. Hey, I see they just revealed the Gears 5 Collector's Edition for $270.
Woo! Well, it would have been nice to reveal that after showing a nice gameplay demo.
Yeah, I might have been a little bit more sold if there was some campaign set piece.
How much money did IGN pay Microsoft to have the exclusive gameplay reveal for that stuff? Huh? How much money do you think that exchanged hands?
Microsoft need that money that badly?
I'm just saying, you damn well know money changed hands. Like IGN, we need exclusive, and what? Okay. So IGN gets the exclusive gameplay, and Microsoft has their own show, and they show a CGI trailer. Telling you, man, money exchanged hands on that one.
Really? How much money, Rand? Give us an exact number.
Probably like $10.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Hey, once more, guys, if you're still here rocking with us, we do appreciate it. Hit that like button. We are moving. I'm excited to get into Scarlet stuff. I mean, despite whatever the fuck happened to this show, they still did tell us about the Project Scarlet stuff, and that's my bag. I'm very excited for that. We know there are games. Once again, that's why we're kind of more disappointed, because they did hold back. They really did hold back. Fucking Bambi was getting soap out of a vending machine. So yeah, Crossfire X, Phantasy Star, Tales of Arise. I don't care. Fonz loves those games. He's into them. Borderlands 3, 9/13/2020 release date. Eden Ridge. What's this? What's the deal with this, Rand? This George R.R. Martin game.
Elden Ring, man, from Software and George Martin coming together. I guess it's set in like Norse, like mythology almost, to like, you know what I mean? I'm down for that game. Once again, no gameplay.
I mean, what is From Software's thing with fake arms in their games lately?
I don't know. Someone must have had a bad acid trip or something.
I mean, I can get behind it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Blair Witch, we did talk about Blair Witch briefly. It looked good, but we don't know enough about it. It is in Game Pass day one. The trailer looked interesting, I'll say that, but it's not what. I mean, it was one of the more interesting things on the fucking stage. That's how kind of
too, and they thought it was Outlast 3.
Yeah, it kind of did look like Outlast 3, but that Eden Ring or Elden Ring is definitely a thing. Project XCloud, 2 ways to stream. We did cover this briefly, but you can kind of use your Xbox as a home server like PS4 has been doing for this whole generation. But I guess you can do it to your phone and stuff instead of just the Vita and all that. Maybe you can do it with certain Sony phones. And then they've got the Azure part, which they didn't tell us any pricing. You can play it on the show floor, so it'll be interesting to see if you think we'll see any leaked gameplay from XCloud on the show floor, Rand?
I'm sure there will be. 100%. Yeah.
Do you think they built a data center under the Microsoft Theater to decrease latency as much as possible?
No. I don't think they did that.
Well, I mean, hey, the pricing, I'm still convinced it's going to be part of Game Pass somehow.
Yeah, and it's weird that they didn't say anything about it. They just said the console streaming was free, and that would be in like beta at the end of the year, but they didn't mention like when, right? XCloud. It's still a little confusing to me.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's the same type of. Is that within the same family underneath XCloud? Is
so I'm reading the stuff here on the newswire. It says the Xbox E3 briefing also marked a new milestone for Project XCloud, with E3 2019 attendees being among the first in the world to play Xbox One games like Halo 5 Guardians and Hellblade streaming on smartphones and tablets. So they have those two games there. But yeah, that's it, man.
Well, Colt and Tim are on the floor, so hopefully they'll give us a report on that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, hopefully they know the difference between game mode and not game mode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll have to see how that goes, man. I mean, this E3 has kind of been a little bit draining, to be honest with you. And the XCloud stuff, they didn't give us quite the details we would want, but there is some kind of beta this year, I do believe. Now, when it comes to Project Scarlet, that was what I did want to hear. Fonzarelli, this generation is a bigger leap than any before, and it will be defined by not only power, but performance, power and performance.
That's what I loved about Phil Spencer's little speech, is the fact that he mentioned performance. You know, I mean, I've talked about it here on the show a lot, talked about it on my own, videos. I am a guy who will choose a 60 frame option in the game over 4K any day of the week. And I will continue to be that guy. And I'm glad that going forward, they are putting more of an emphasis on that with the new tech they're coming out with. That should be no issue running games, up to 4K at 60 frames per second. I think that we're going to get more of those types of games. And I'm excited. I'm just so excited over that.
Yeah, the load times. They didn't really give us a confirmation on cores or anything, but they did confirm right there in that trailer, Zen 2 and Navi. They did say 4 times faster than the X. That's not on the GPU side. I'm guessing that's total bandwidth, total performance. It's going to be a much more balanced system, the most balanced we've ever had. That, I don't know. I'm really stoked for that. They did confirm that it comes out next year. They did actually say holiday 2020, and they said that it will release with Halo. So like we were talking about in the party rant, Halo, if they launch those two together, it'll kind of offer the chance to get the best console experience with that game, right?
Yep. And I mean, the trailer looked amazing. I'm 100% in for Halo Infinite. I just wanted to see some gameplay. I guess we got to wait for. I don't want to say
whatever
it.
happened to it being played with an Xbox controller?
Want to say it? Wait till next E3, huh? Is that what people are going to be saying? Is that what people are going to say? Because I don't want to say it.
Hey, but whatever happened to it being played with an Xbox controller from a high-end PC to represent the Anaconda specs?
Yeah, what happened to that?
What happened to that?
That was Brad Sams who said that, I believe, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, but you never know what chance. We've seen E3. I mean, there's been all kinds of behind-the-scenes talk about.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, when you look at the hardware and everything that they're going to put out, at least they're dropping it with a game day, that day. Yeah. They didn't do that with the X. There was nothing to showcase on the X. So, I mean, at least they've got a brand new game, which is arguably one of their biggest franchise ever, if not their biggest franchise in Halo, to drop on that date. And that's what's fantastic. And yes, to me, that was my second best in show, was the Halo Infinite trailer. That to me was the most compelling trailer out of all, besides Cyberpunk, in my opinion. It got me feeling something for Halo that I haven't felt in many years. So I don't know. I'm happy for that.
I honestly feel like it's just a fucking holding pattern at this point for multiple developers and everybody like around. Like they're just waiting to best showcase their games like next year. Like every developer, from what we've heard, like 4 times more powerful, whatever, all that shit, like about what the system's going to be next year, and even PS5. It just feels like everybody's just in a holding powder to like blow your faces off next year. Like everybody, it just fucking feels weird, doesn't it? Like, am I the only one that feel like? And I know there's still Ubisoft and Bethesda. We'll see what they show, but if it's more of the same, where it's kind of like EA, they showed one game and then everything else was like, this is Apex, this is that. But Ubisoft has like 2 or 3 games to show. After that, it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's in a holding pattern.
That most of their lineup is stuff that's already out.
Yeah, they did. They said most stuff that's out, and a couple like little things like the Tom Clancy game, which looks good.
This is not what E3 is known for, though, right? Like things are changing here. What's the deal?
I don't know. I honestly feel like it's just that weird limbo between the generations, right? But what's a generation? But
Yeah.
that weird limbo. That's what I feel like we're in right now. Is that limbo of developers don't want to show their games right now because they want to show it on the next hardware, which is going to look fucking crazy.
Yeah, the Scarlet's gonna look crazy for sure. Like they confirmed hardware ray tracing in a console. Like that is huge. People were saying that would never happen. It's impossible for consoles to get hardware ray tracing, and we have confirmation of it. And the Zen 2, like it's if they're touting 120 frames per second, believe you me, it's gonna be nothing for these consoles to achieve 60 frames per second, which is really the holy grail of console gaming.
Tom Gale says they held back for sure for next gen. Not Sony, in his opinion. Xbox E3 2020 has got to be filled with first party. Yes,
Bro, I don't want to see next generation, and I don't want to see like over the top pony games or any of that crap. I don't want to see it. It's like I know that whole independent they for some reason they've been catering to a lot of the independent studios over the past like 4 years. Ever since like that article came out. Remember like during like the 2013, 2014 timeframe, how like a lot of the devs, the IDI Xbox program, they were calling it like it was like bad for independent developers, how they had these mandates and stuff like that. And I feel like Microsoft has been playing the apology game with these dudes over the past years, that they dedicate these big reveals on their E3 stage to these games, and it just comes off as like, dude, I don't want to see this. Like
it's detrimental to their own show.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even say it's just them.
overcompensating, dude.
I wouldn't even say it's just the indies. I would say it's also the Japanese developers. They put a lot of the Japanese games on there that, I know a lot of people fucking love them, but to me, I don't really care. Like they showed that Dragon Ball Z game, and I was just like, I don't fucking care. Like,
yeah, but I think they need to show those games to try to get a wider audience. That I understood, but to show the indie games on there made no sense. That's the part where I think they dropped.
Yeah, like I don't mind a sizzle reel. Like they should. The thing is, what pissed me off is that how like they had the sizzle reel, right, and then they had like regular like gameplay reveals or regular reveals for independent games that could have been in the sizzle reel. And that's what pissed me off. I was like, wow, so this just took space away from another game. Yeah. That's how I looked at it. Like,
hey, ASQD Gaming says, awesome show. So hype for the Scarlet. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much, brother. He's got a pretty cool channel as well. Check him out if you haven't already. But yeah, I mean, Scarlet, they also confirmed 120 FPS. Who knows at what resolutions? 8K ray tracing as 8K, at least supported by HDMI standards. And ray tracing that is powered by hardware. The most immersive console experience that you can get is basically what they said. Full back compat as well. You'll be able to play all those generations at running even better with a full custom processor as well. And they did confirm that for next holiday.
I want to point out something that So Shady had just said. He's saying that, well, some people are into indies and some people are into Japanese games. You're right, Shady, but indie games do not sell consoles. Those Japanese games will bring people over to the box if it's exclusive to the box. Trust me, those JRPGs are huge to a lot of people.
Yeah, they are. Let's talk about Halo Infinite. Rand, I want your take on this trailer. I thought it started out very, very strong.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer, outside of Cyberpunk 2077, that was the best thing about the show. I honestly was getting goosebumps during it. Like, when they ended it with him walking towards like the light and Cortana speaking, I was getting chills, dude.
That's when I thought the gameplay was going to kick in.
Yeah, and I thought they were like, all right, here comes the gameplay, and we just end 343 coming holiday 2020. It just encapsulated what I thought was wrong with the show. Like, just too many trailers and not enough actual, meat and potatoes behind it.
That was an in-engine or real. They say anything like that? I mean, I feel like it was.
I mean, let's see. I'm looking
in the trailer. It did say in-game engine.
Okay.
It doesn't say. It doesn't really say.
At the start of the trailer.
It does seem like time has passed though, right? The guy finds him floating in space. The ring's destroyed. That's not where we left off in Halo 5 Guardians. So I wonder if they do a time jump. And like, you know what I mean? Like, what happened? Why is the ring already destroyed? Presumably that Cortana turned on in the Halo 5 Legend. If you beat Halo 5 on Legendary, there's an extra cutscene where she turns on one of the Halo rings. it looks like it's the same one, and it's destroyed, and he says they lost. So I wonder how much at the
Why
time
the
skip.
fuck would they stick that behind a legendary ending?
They always do that type of
So
stuff.
fucking dumb. That seems like a big thing. Drago says Minecraft was an indie at one point. Sure was, and I didn't want to load the stage back then either. But Halo Infinite looked absolutely phenomenal. I don't know exactly what it's supposed to be like Brad said, it's supposed to be like indicative of next gen consoles, but we don't really know that because they didn't state that. It didn't show any gameplay, so I don't know. Story aspect, I feel like 343 nailed that story aspect in the trailer. That angle in the trailer, Fonz, it kind of raised your hype for Halo a little bit, right?
Definitely. That's why I said, for me, it made me feel something I haven't felt for Halo in many years. Not since Bungie left, to be honest. This story looks compelling to me, and it looks like it's, of course, Master Chief is there, so that's a big draw. Unlike in Halo 5, where you played half.
Master Chief is a pimp. Motherfucker's like 7 foot tall. You know, he's a beast.
I'm excited for that. And that really, just like you, Rand, I was excited when I saw that, and I was feeling something. I was like, man, this is cool. I was just hoping that they would show the gameplay, though. Like, I kept waiting and going, maybe they're going to show it. Maybe they're going to show it. And it didn't come. And I was like, damn it. It's such a mark miss there. But, at the end of the day, hey, I'm excited for it. And it's coming out on the same day as the new, console. That's a great thing.
That's a huge launch title, man.
Hyped. It's got me hyped. And that's going to sell consoles right there.
What do you think?
Oh,
about
yeah,
that?
Halo especially.
Yeah, shady. That deer game is not going to sell the next Anaconda, okay? But Halo will.
and
Halo definitely will, and the deer getting the soap out of the vending machine probably won't. Zucker, what are your thoughts about Halo Infinite?
I thought the trailer was amazing. I thought it was very touching. Everybody in the party when we were watching it was just quiet. Like, we were just all watching it, and then I laughed my ass off when the guy's like, "We need to hide." Fucking Chief's like, "Nah, dog." He just walks out. The guy closes the door. Like, fuck that. I don't know. I thought it was great, and he jumps out like just being a badass. And Master Chief's fucking huge. You were saying that in the party, like, that dude's huge, and we're just like, I don't know. I just enjoyed everything about it. I don't know. I wanted to see gameplay, but I have a feeling they're just going to wait till the next consoles at this point. Like, everybody is. Like, the whole gaming industry is just on the standstill.
Rand nailed it. Like, it's kind of like, sucks to say it, but like the chat said, it feels like they were holding back for next year. They know that this whole generational shift is right around the corner. Sony handed them this year no matter what. Sony still lost this year, guys. I don't know. I hate to break it to you, but some E3 is still better than none.
Can't lose if you don't fucking show up.
Yeah, so they lost by default, and what a year to do that on, because I feel like Microsoft just said, fuck it, we're not going to really put all our but they still made obvious mistakes, like not showing Gears campaign. Yeah, that's a mistake that they still made. I think that was just a bad choice. So at the end of the day, there's a massive shift coming up, and Microsoft know that. And I feel like they're going to reveal Fable next year. Fable is real. They're going to show you more Infinite actual fucking gameplay this time, hopefully. They're going to reveal Forza Motorsport 8. And hopefully they have a really good, solid launch lineup to kind of take on what Sony's going to have. They're going to be coming off Last of Us 2, which will probably win fucking Game of the Year no matter what. But Kids Move, like, your final thoughts on Halo Infinite here.
Halo was probably one of the major bright spots. I was starting to get a little bit worried because, like, I was like, all right, they're already talking about Project Scarlet, and there's no signs of Halo Infinite. But when they showed it, I felt really good. I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm in high hopes. I'm looking forward to next year. So I was a big fan of Halo 5. I know a lot of people kind of like were down on it, but I was a big fan of Halo 5, a big fan of Halo 4. I still stick with the narrative. Unpopular opinion, I think 343 does an amazing job with their iterations of Halo. And I'm looking forward to Halo Infinite. And I can't wait to play that on the Scarlet. But that's kind of really the only thing I really kind of took from the show was
stuff that we already kind of knew about, right?
Yeah.
Stick figure. So Gears is gonna have a staggered launch. I don't know.
But with the Ultimate, you get it 4 days early.
Yeah, people say like early access, and some people are thinking that means like does that mean the campaign is launching into early access, like something like Hunt Showdown is, where they're building the campaign? It's weird wording, because when I first saw it too, I was like, yeah, if you didn't know, you would think that's what it meant, but it really just means you can play it 4 days early if you have the Ultimate. At least that's what I hope it means.
No, that's what it means. I don't know why like people got that confused. It's like, because I think what they did was they mentioned that after they showed you the roadmap of different reveals they're going to be showing throughout the summer before the launch, because they have something in July, which is the thing that's on TBS. They have something in August at Gamescom. They're doing I think Horde, and then September they was like enjoy the campaign, but that's when the game like releases. So I don't think they're going to be like releasing this like different modes or of the game or different parts of the game in the staggered release. I think it's going to release on September 6th if you bought the expensive edition or you got Game Pass Ultimate, and it's going to release on September 10th if you're regular edition buyer or a regular Games Pass subscriber. So.
Yeah, those other modes seem like they're type of like a beta mode or something for these new modes.
Tom Gale kids wants to know, do you think Halo has to be open world? I actually think it is kind of an open world type.
Does it have to be? I don't think it has to be. I don't know what they're doing with Halo Infinite. We know nothing about it. You look at the first thing they showed last year of Halo Infinite, kind of seemed like they were going for a bigger scale with Halo Infinite when they showed you that. So I mean, I don't think Gears needs to be not Halo needs to. I don't believe Halo needs to be like open world. I feel like it just needs to be. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I don't know what Halo needs to be. I never had a problem with any of the previous Halo games for it to warrant like some sort of like scope change. I just hope whatever they do, it's good. I feel like Gears could use some opening up and they could branch out since they got character changes. That's something I really wanted to see, but we didn't. So
RTJ, the wrestling guy, says no Gears console or controller. Rand, are they doing that?
I would think so. It seems like they're really doing a focused presentation, right? Because the criticism of, hey, why haven't we seen any Gears since last year? And it really does look like they're just be like, well, next month's the multiplayer, and then August is Horde mode, and then it's the campaign. So I'm assuming at some point down the road we'll get, here's the controller, here's the console.
I think Gamescom will probably get the console.
Yeah.
Kevin Lee says they literally showed off the next gen elite. He's talking about a Gears of War console and controller.
Speaking of consoles, though, sorry, it's kind of off subject, but they didn't talk about two consoles, did they?
No, they didn't.
They brought up just one, Project Scarlet.
I told Dealer about 3 hours before the show that they wouldn't mention Anaconda and Lockhart. It would literally just be Project Scarlet, right, Dealer? And you were like, stop spoiling the show for me. And I'm like, because Dealer, that's another thing. Some people think that we don't know some of this shit. Dealer, how much shit do we fucking know?
Does it really matter, Rand?
I'm just saying, some people doubt
your pants, Rand.
Some people doubt the veracity of the information and things that we know and stuff. I'm just saying, you know a lot of things. I know a lot of things. We're not making this stuff up. We're not lying. We're not putting out late night lies and then deleting the videos when they don't get fucking 2,000 views.
Yeah. I saw 10 late night lies last night. 10.
Well, hey, at the end of the day, guys, Rand, what's the plan with your stuff, man?
So I just kind of threw out a hangout. I'm probably just gonna go talk about my feelings about it. If you guys want to join, that's great. If you don't want to, I don't blame you. I might just do this solo. I mean, it's up to you guys. If you want to head over to my channel in like 10-15 minutes, that's great. But like, because Bethesda's in an hour, so I have to kind of like just like nail it and then be done before Bethesda ends. So that's up to you guys.
All right, well, just let me know behind the scenes. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, probably the most negative show we'll have all year. Yeah, what's up? Did kids say something?
Not giggled.
Oh, fuck. I mean, it's to be honest, like this E3, I expected a lot, man. Especially based off of. I just hope that these executives and stuff realize that hardcore gamers do not see all games as being created equal or worthy of the same big stage. That's not personal against developers or the type of art form. It's just this stage is it represents the biggest blockbusters of the year and of the next several years. And being a deer smacking a fucking vending machine with my face, I'm not going to do that. I'm just. I just feel like the guys who brought Halo and supported Halo and Gears, and it's been 10, 15, 20 years. We've all grown up. So that's what we want to see. Little kids aren't watching some of these shows. So
no, don't get it twisted either. We're not telling people that we're hating Xbox now. Forget that. We're just going PS5 and that's it. No, we're not saying that. We are just voicing our concerns with this show. That's all we've talked about.
Think of it as like if it's an Xbox inside Xbox, we would tell you if we thought it sucked or not.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is the kind of platform that I prefer, and I don't see that changing as long as things stay the way they are. And we just want more, and we want better. We know most of you guys agree. Gears of War 5 gameplay is a given from the campaign. Didn't show any even from the multiplayer. So that's kind of a massive letdown. I was really hyped for that game. And if I come away from that show knowing how much is in this game, all the traversal, the different environments, the customization, the badass story it's going to have, the development it's had, and I come away with none of that shown to me and I'm less hyped for a game, that's a fail.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, once more, whether you agreed, let me know down in the comments. Just because we don't agree on things don't mean that we can't give each other a hug. So once more, guys, hit that like button if you enjoyed the show or maybe at least chimed in. And, of course, support these guys on the show. Check out Randall Thor after this. D-Batch, buddy, a big day for some bigger than others. Where can people find you, and what have you been playing, man?
You can find me at Twitter at D_Batch and at YouTube at DBatch. And I just got back into Days Gone and about to clear that game. And just a little underwhelmed on today's show. And to all the Xbox fans out there, I got one thing to say to you guys. Wait till next year's E3.
Somebody's going to sound like that, but yeah, unfortunately, he's right. You got to wait until in E3 where Microsoft did not clearly hold back, and hopefully they don't make the same decisions like don't show gameplay from games that are. Imagine if Halo Infinite next year at E3 they just showed you another trailer like that. They didn't even show you gameplay for Halo Infinite the year it's coming out. That's what just happened to Gears.
Yeah.
So, Zalker, what have you been playing, and where can people find you, bro?
I've been playing Wolfenstein 2, enjoying that game immensely. Fucking looks amazing. You guys can find me at Twitter at Zalker87 and on YouTube, Zalker87. I just hit 4,000 subs today on E3.
Ooh, yeah, congrats.
Which is, it was pretty awesome. Yeah, thanks, man. It's a good time. Yes, becoming a frog soon. And so, as for the E3 conference, I enjoyed parts of it. I enjoy strategy games, and then some parts I didn't like. Gears, I'm extremely hyped for. I just want to see they better on Xbox, whatever they have in the next 3 days, those shows. The inside Xbox, they better show some fucking gameplay of a bunch of games, please. Gears.
I want to get your score real quick on E3. Just throw one out there.
I'd give it a 6.5.
All right, I would give it a 6. D-Batch.
I give it a 6. Yeah.
All right. Rand Outdoor. Where can people find you? And what have you been playing? And what do you give E3?
They can find me at the other end of a rope. No, I'm kidding.
What you would give E3 this year?
I'd probably give it a 6. It's definitely not one of their best in quite some time. I was more disappointed. There's still things I liked, but if you want to, hear more, you can head over to my YouTube channel, Randall Thor 19. Probably gonna be talking a little bit more about this.
Thank you, fraud. Did you really put 9.5? Oh my God, bro! Come on.
Who put 9.5? What?
Others did. You're entitled to your opinion.
I mean, are you surprised though? If there was one person I could, if you say, what is others Inc. gonna give the show? Come hell or high water, I've been like a 9 or a 10, and we'd be right. They could have canceled the show, and he would have gave it a 9 out of 10.
Hey, we're playing around with Others Inc. here, but I was surprised to see a 9.5, bro. If you thought this was 9.5, the last show must have been a 15. So what you would give it a 6, Rand, and obviously you're doing a show after this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they can find you at Randall Thor on Twitter, right?
Randall Thor 19 on Twitter and on YouTube. Yep.
Okay. Kid Smooth, what have you been playing? Where can people find you? What would you give the show?
He's not here. He left.
Oh, did he bail?
Yeah, he had to go.
He's bailing. He's out of here. He's like, I'm done.
Who did I get?
Kids, though.
Fonz, I didn't get you. Fonz, where can people find you? What have you been playing? And what would you give E3?
They can find me at The Grounded Gamer here on YouTube, and I'm going to be making a video on this as well. But anyway, I'm going to try to be more positive here and just say that there were some good takeaways from the show. Halo, was one of them.
Yeah, Halo.
And when I'm talking about just Microsoft here, we had Halo, and we had Halo, and we had Halo. Aside from that, there's really much positive, because the fact that they didn't show stuff, you know, they didn't show gameplay. I'm not throwing Gears 5 in there because there was nothing shown there. It was absolutely terrible for what they did. But that said, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 still. I'm going to hold firm because I think they just didn't do enough. And for Microsoft to do this on E3, like, you know, they're supposed to go all out, and they said that they would. There was going to be a big show, and it just wasn't. It got a lot of people hyped, including myself. As a gamer who plays all the consoles, you know, I really felt let down. I'm in it for the games, and they just didn't wow me with their games.
Others Inc. says, you gave Days Gone an 8.5. No, buddy, it's all right there in my review. I gave it like a 78. So it's all there. You just got to listen. And also, unless you played Days Gone, you might not want to call it trash, because you're doing the same thing that people do to Crackdown or any other game that you complain about the Sony guys doing it. Don't be a hypocrite. Play the game and then judge it, because you hate it when Sony dudes do it to Xbox games, right? So I gave Days Gone a 78, probably 80 maximum, and that's at its heights. It's actually a pretty good game with some pretty big flaws. It's pretty slow at the beginning.
I just want to say something to others, Zinc, real quickly. You have to keep it real. This was a mediocre show. It was, and saying otherwise is just lying to yourself and accepting mediocrity. To be honest.
Yeah. But hey, you know, like I said, we're trying not to. We're just trying to get that point across that it's okay to criticize. You ain't getting paid from this shit, you know. So, did we get everyone here on the chat aside from Kiss Move, who bailed? Yeah, diarrhea.
Yep.
Okay.
No, I like how people are in the chat saying you guys need to grow up. Like, grow up. We were talking video games, number one, and number two. If you really enjoyed this show, fine. Nobody's saying you shouldn't enjoy it. If you don't want to hear people complain about their opinions on these games, don't tune in.
Well, hey, it's just one show. Every week is a little bit different. Let us know what you thought of E3 down below when this thing renders. And thank you to those that do support the podcast, good or bad. We're usually pretty damn grounded. I felt like we were this show. It was what it was. It was an L, especially compared to expectations. And, you know, there's just some misinformation out there from a lot of different people as well. So once more, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day. We will see you on Tuesday. We are out.
Later, everybody.
Peace.
I gave it a 6 twice.